We have to get back to having a system of how we sell. Because if we don't, we are absolutely just falling for whatever they tell us to do. You know, they say, we need you to do this, we need you to have this price, and we need you to do this, and if you do that, then maybe we'll give you the business. And we run back and go, okay, well, we don't have enough out there, so we got to do this. They are completely in charge of our business. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it. We have bills to pay. We have employees. Okay, I get it. But there's other ways for us to build relationships. And that is the key. When I say that, I'm not naive. I understand that a lot of it has to do with price and other things. But our job is to get better at the process of selling so we have a higher hit rate when we do have that situation. Because just throwing out a bunch of bids and seeing what sticks is not only exhausting, takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. When we get a whole bunch that they say went with somebody else, after 3 or 4 or 5 of those in a day or a week, how are you feeling in here? You're like, my God, what the hell is going on? I'm just going to close my door. When you're not feeling right in here, you are not going to sell properly. That's a problem. So let's talk about some things that we can do differently today. Remember when we were in high school and we had those heavy relationships that were like, I don't know, 3 weeks long? We would draw hearts on our notebook with our initials and their initials. We would look at them in the cafeteria when they walked into the classroom. You guys did that too when you had crushes on girls, okay? Then all of a sudden, she found out you had a crush on her, right? She followed you around. She was at your locker every day. She called your house every single night. She got friendly with your mom and asked to talk to you. How are you feeling now? You had a crush on this girl, and all of a sudden, she's everywhere. You can't get rid of her. How are you feeling now? Pressure. Okay, what else? Suffocation, right? You married her. It's red. It's red. Okay? But the reason we feel differently is because we as humans have to earn something. We don't like things given to us. When it comes too easy, we don't want it. And when we say to somebody, we can do this for you and this for you and this for you, not only is it a sales pitch that I don't believe and it's not credible, it also is, I'm now fitting you into the category that everybody else I talk to fits in. That's the problem with pitching, and that's also the problem with a bid that has all the wonderful things that you do. It's extremely important to get some information from somebody before you put a bid in to make it somewhat customized. Use their language, their words. We have to do that. Because if we don't, all we are is like everybody else and they don't believe us. Sales is so like, I'm selling you. I hate that. Right? I have a book out and it's called To Sell is Not to Sell. And the reason it's called that is because when you hear about somebody selling you, like a sales pitch, like you said before, nobody likes that. People love to buy, they just hate to be sold, right? So you can't put yourself in the position of that. And I know you don't enjoy that. The reason you got into this job is not because you wanted to start selling. You want to do what you do and what you do well. Okay? But you got to build relationships to make it happen. The first reason we don't get more referrals is we don't ask. Everybody knows that. But the second reason is as significant, if not more. We don't ask properly, right? People think in pictures, so you have to create a picture for them. Whether it's an actual person, whether it's a type of person, whether it's a business out there that's new, you have to give them clues on how to do that because they don't know, right? So the more specific you are in helping them, the better they'll be able to help you. So getting to the decision maker is the idea of finding somebody who knows the person you're trying to get to and ask them to give you a referral. So getting referrals, again, 2 things. Number 1, we don't ask. Number 2, we don't ask properly. Okay? And asking properly is being specific. I want to give you some examples of that. But how do we avoid think it over? Well, there's a couple of things you want to have, and we're going to talk about that today. That is the number 1 problem we have in sales. Way more than a no. Because what we used to be told is never take no for an answer. Okay? Keep going back. It's all about being persistent. If you keep calling, eventually you'll get there. Okay, that persistent thing, I call that stalking. All right? So, yeah, that's not good. All right? So getting think it over, the issue about getting think it over is most of the time the words think it over is a no in a pretty box with a bow on it. Who are the people in your community that know everybody, that are not only know people, but they're respected and they're liked? Who are those people? Do we know them in our communities? Okay. Number one, you got to figure out who they are and you got to build relationships with them. Number two, you need to be those people. You need to be those people. We want to be around success, right? We don't want to be around negative people. We don't want to be around people that are always suffering and always complaining. We don't. People want to be around other people that are positive. When you are the go-to guy in your community, when you look to help others as well as they help you, that, my friend, is how referrals happen. This isn't about sales. It's about helping other people that are other vendors that are on that project so they can help you. Okay? So it's about giving, and if you give first and you really mean it, you'll get back tenfold. So you want to meet some decision makers? That's how it's going to happen. Somebody's going to know the person that you want to get to, and they're going to go about it in a different way. Ready for my statement? Your activities have to come first. They are your priority over everything else, including your clients. What? The number one client you have is to build your own business. And I understand that your clients are who pays you. I get it. But this is what pays you. What typically happens in most organizations, because this isn't the part you like so much, you go out and you do whatever activities it is, throw bids out, talk to people, whatever. Then you get a couple of opportunities, and we stop. And then we go, uh-oh, don't have enough. And then we go out and do activities again. It can't work like that. You've got to figure out what this is for you, and you have to do it on a regular basis, every day, every week, every month, whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could be 2 strategic alliances, could be a week. It could be a networking function. It could be going to your existing clients. Whatever those things are, you need to figure out what that activity is, and that has to be your number one priority, even when you start getting busy again.